Chapter 125. Arrival at the Imperial capital. High in the sky, the large black bird flew over a distance before landing on a hillside not far away. A black-clothed, masked man stood staring at the hillside. I didn't think that I, a powerful Yuanying stage person, would have to assassinate a Foundation establishment stage junior. If this is spread out, how will I have the face to meet people? The masked man stroked the feathers of the large black bird and laughed to himself. Go. The big black bird chirped comfortably. Its eyes couldn't help but narrow, its small head constantly touching the masked man's palm. Little black oar, you're also despising the old man, right? But unfortunately, for the sake of the family's interests, the old man had to do this. Who let the family master's ambition is too big. But he is also for the sake of the family. The old man helpless are. The masked man sighed, then stepped out of the air, towards the direction of Kang Chan's carriage, traveling to chase after him. Yuanying stage powerhouse is Yuanying stage powerhouse, although the masked man is lightly floating in the clouds. But his speed is strangely fast, more than 10 times faster than even the Jidan stage's royal sword flight. Not to mention Kang Chan's carriage's situational speed. Almost in 10 or so breaths, it was caught up by him. Kid, this can only be blamed on your bad fate. The masked man looked at the running carriage below and smiled morosely. His powerful Yuanying stage pressure pressed down from the sky. Facing a Foundation establishment stage cultivator, even if the other party was the famous overlord of the Great Tank, the masked man didn't care in the slightest. He directly exuded a powerful aura, telling the heavens that he was going to kill him. This was the confidence that came from a Yuanying stage powerhouse. A Yuanying stage powerhouse. Under the masked man's powerful pressure, Kang Chan, who was cultivating in the carriage, was instantly awakened, and his eyes looked towards the sky in shock, only to see that there, a black-clothed masked man stepped into the air. As this person descended, the huge pressure of the Yuanying stage pressed down on him. Kang Chan was immediately appalled in his heart. The only person who could shock him above the pressure was a Yuanying stage powerhouse. After all, even if a Jidan stage powerhouse was in front of Kang Chan, who had comprehended the idea, he would be counter-suppressed. Whereas a Yuanying stage powerhouse, however, had comprehended intent, and Kang Chan was unable to take a single advantage. Kid, it's not good. This guy has murderous intent towards you. Hurry up and release the Yuanying stage puppet. Otherwise you'll die for sure. The Dan Emperor, who was cultivating in the reverse heavenly cauldron, was also awakened by the powerful pressure. He instantly warned. Kang Chan's eyes lit up. He had almost forgotten that he still had a Yuanying stage hitman. Thus, he awakened Little Gold, who was cultivating in the reverse heavenly cauldron, and released it along with that Yuanying stage puppet. And at that moment, the masked man who descended from high in the sky also appeared in front of Kang Chan. Gallantly, the several horses pulling the cart shrieked in alarm, then slowly slumped to the ground. Clearly, they were also shocked by the aura of the Yuanying stage powerhouse. Kang Chan was staring at the masked man in front of him with a face full of gravity, but in his heart, he was pondering, who on earth was trying to kill him? In an instant, the figures of Zhonglai, Wu Gang, Li Yuanba and others flashed through his mind. It seemed that these were the only people he had offended. Wu Gang shouldn't be. Although he had lost to Kang Chan, their Wu family shouldn't do such irrational things, and the hatred between the two sides wasn't that great. Zhonglai, this person had started to kill him in the first place, and now that a Yuanying stage expert had killed him not long after he left Demon Yuan City, Kang Chan had to suspect him. Li Yuanba, the Li family wanted to kill him, but didn't dare to do so. Now that everyone was focusing on his battle with Li Laoki, the Li family definitely didn't dare to kill him at this time. Kang Chan eventually locked onto Zhonglai. This person was most likely to make a move against him, as could be seen from the killing intent in his eyes that day. Kid, come out. Leave your last words. Old me will give you a ride. The masked man looked at Kang Chon in the carriage and said indifferently. He didn't have the slightest worry, because in front of the yuanying stage, even if Kang Chon was no matter how talented he was, it would be impossible for him to escape in his hands. This was something that Kang Chon was equally aware of, as he coldly gazed at the masked man across from him, and mockingly said, "Senior, a hello yuanying stage powerhouse. Do you still need to cover your face if you want to strike down your junior?" Could it be that with Senior's strength, he's still worried about not being able to kill Senior? The masked man was stunned at his words, and his old face under the mask turned red, but in the end, he still laughed coldly and said, "Worthy of being a hegemony king. You are still this calm at this point in time. But it's a pity that you have offended someone you shouldn't have offended." "Is that so?" Kang Chon sniffed. His icy cold gaze was like a blade, looking straight at the masked man. He proudly walked out of the carriage and stood on the head of the carriage, scanning the masked man below with a face full of disdain. "Since I, Kang Chon, dared to step into this cultivation world, I have already put life and death at risk. Without a fearless belief in death, how can I survive in this cruel cultivation world, and how can one continue to pursue the supreme realm? Old man, if you can't kill me today, next time I'll exterminate your entire Zhong family." Kang Chon's sentence after sentence of icy words came out from his mouth. And even when he faced a yuanying stage powerhouse, the domineering aura on his body was still nothing short of disdainful. He was like a god of war, standing proudly. The masked man was shocked by Kang Chon's words and could not speak. Asterisk 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 asterisk, gloomy light in his eyes. His hoarse voice so squeezed out of his throat. "Well, well, well. No wonder you are able to dominate the young generation. The old man is very much in awe. But since you said so, the old man will never let you leave alive today." After saying that, the masked man ripped off his face scarf, revealing his pale face. "Old me, Zhong Wuxia, third elder of the Zhong clan." Since Kang Chon had already guessed that it was the Zhong family, there was no need to continue hiding his face, not to mention, Kang Chon would definitely die today. Kang Chon smiled coldly at his words. It was indeed Zhong Lai. He remembered this revenge. The day he promoted to the yuanying stage, it would be the time when the Zhong family would perish. "Kid, I'm not afraid to tell you, the reason why our Zhong family wants to kill you, because the Li family gave us favors. So blame it on the fact that you have offended someone you shouldn't have offended. All right, say your last words. A genius like you, old me also admires. I will give you a decent death," Zhong Wuxia said grimly. "Li family." Kang Chon's heart snapped. No wonder Zhong Lai revealed his killing intent as soon as he saw him back then, so he was colluding with the Li family. However, this Li family should only be using the Zhong family, wanting to kill someone with a borrowed sword. Kang Chon's heart revealed a strong killing intent. His grudge with the Li family was already immortal. "Kid, have you thought of any last words?" Zhong Wuxia couldn't help but urge Kang Chon when he saw him contemplating. "Last words? It's better to leave such things to you." Kang Chon let out a cold laugh, and then let out a low voice, "Little gold." Boom! As Kang Chon's words fell, a powerful pressure instantly shot up into the sky, impacting towards Zhong Wuxia on the opposite side. Zhong Wuxia was instantly shocked. This pressure was likewise that of a yuanying stage powerhouse. In the instant he was shocked, a black figure rushed out from the carriage. It was the Black Puppet. It was like an icy cold god of war, holding a long back sword as it killed towards Zhong Wuxia. A terrifying battle erupted, and Kang Chon and Little Gold hid far away. In the field, two yuanying stage powerhouses instantly erupted into a fierce battle. The terrifying airwaves shattered the surrounding earth, and space trembled. Kang Chon was shocked. This was the power of a yuanying stage powerhouse. It was simply not comparable to a Jidan stage cultivator. Even if there were 10,000 Jidan stage 9th level powerhouses, they would not be a match for a single Yuanying stage powerhouse. These were two completely different realms. Puppet. Surprisingly, it's a Yuanying stage puppet. Old me hates it. In the midst of the great battle, came Zhong Wanshan's roar of fury. He hadn't thought that Kang Chun actually possessed a Yuanying stage puppet, and that this puppet also possessed a decent spirit weapon. It was Kang Chun's long black blade, which originally belonged to this puppet. And now in this puppet's hands, it suddenly exploded with full power, and with a gentle stroke, it was 1,000 feet long overwhelming blade that cut a huge chasm in the earth. Although Zhong Wanshan's cultivation was good, the magic flying sword in his hand only managed to reach the level of a spirit weapon. Far worse than this long black blade, so he immediately fell into a disadvantage. Of course, even so, Zhong Wanshan also had the strength to escape, but in this way, it would not be able to kill Kang Chun. And Kang Chun already knew everything. If he did not die, then in the future, it would be a disaster for their Zhong family. Zhong Wanshan secretly hated in his heart. If he had known this, he would have just done it directly. The black puppet was very powerful. A random blade was 1,000 feet of blade awnings that swept across the sky, shaking the heavens and earth. Kang Chun looked dumbfounded. This was the strength of a Yuanying stage powerhouse. It was simply unrivaled. I'm afraid he couldn't even receive a single move. On the other hand, Zhong Wanshan is also incomparably powerful. His flying sword comes out of his hand, manifesting countless bright sword lights towards the black puppet asterisk, and up, like 10,000 swords returning to the Emperor as shocking. The whole space seems to be filled with sharp sword chi. But the black puppet was incomparably powerful. He ignored the surrounding sword chi and directly slashed out, just like opening up the sky, directly through the layers of sword chi shroud, killing Zhong Wanshan. Zhong Wanshan was shocked. He hastily summoned his flying swords to guard himself. Then he kept attacking the puppet with his powerful spells. He could see that this puppet was a strong fighter in close combat. He absolutely couldn't let it get close. Kang Chun watched carefully from the bottom. The battle between two Yuanying stage powerhouses was very rare. He had only seen it in the Battle of Fengdu Mountain back then, and he had not had the chance to watch it carefully back then. Now there is such a good opportunity. Kang Chun will not let it go. He gazed carefully watching. Zhong Wanshan's every move flashed in his mind. He quickly absorbed the experience. In the future will be of great use. Time did not know how long had passed. The battle in the sky was getting more and more intense. But Kang Chun could see that Zhong Wanshan had already fallen into an absolute disadvantage. Defeat was only a matter of time. Kid, this puppet is very good. Surprisingly, it is able to exert the strength of a late Yuanying stage, together with that spiritual artifact grade black long knife. Even if it encounters a peak Yuanying stage powerhouse, it will be able to fight. And this old guy is only at the late Yuanying stage, not a match for the black puppet. Emperor Dan's voice came out. His realm was profound, and he could tell the strength of the black puppet and Zhong Wanshan with a single glance. Kang Chun was pleasantly surprised at his words. He didn't expect the black puppet to be so powerful. In that case, he wouldn't be afraid of the petty tricks that the Li family made. While the two of them were talking, Zhong Wanshan in the sky was finally slashed by the black puppet, spraying several mouthfuls of blood, his face pale. Kid, count yourself lucky this time. Zhong Wanshan glanced hatefully at Kang Chun below, knowing that he would not be able to kill Kang Chun today, no matter what, and immediately prepared to leave. Quickly cast a heaven escaping hand. Don't let him escape. This old brat definitely has quite a lot of wealth. He must be destroyed. Emperor Dan's eyes sizzled as he said, Con. This guy was actually looking at Zhong Wanshan's family fortune. However, Kang Chun did not think of letting Zhong Wanshan go. After all, the other party had come to kill him. It was impossible for him to be indifferent. Thus, as Zhong Wanshan was about to prepare to leave, an ice-cold voice came out from Kang Chun's mouth. Heaven escaping hand. Without the slightest obstruction, a huge golden palm appeared out of thin air behind Zhong Wunshan, grabbing him tightly. HMPH. How dare you stop me with such a trivial skill? Being grabbed by the huge golden palm, Zhong Wunshan was not worried at all. He smiled coldly as his powerful true essence burst out, instantly breaking free from the heaven escaping hand's control.